And I stand here alone with my head in my hands. I've been gone so long, I can't remember where I've been. I'm thinking about back at home, my family and friends, my brothers don't know that I'm there till the end. It's one thing that we all know. It's one thing we all know. No man's left behind. You'll see me once, you'll see me twice. I fight alongside my brothers. There's no man is left behind.
This is no way about me. It's about what happened. It's about this should never happen. So
Right.
to me, I'm grateful and humble about it. That I'm still human. I'm still a mom. I'm still got laundry to do, and I'm taking I'm a full-time student at the University of Southern Mississippi, so
Wow.
I still have to function. It's been rough, but somebody had to take the stand, and even if it wasn't me, it was somebody else, I'd be fully supporting them too. I said from the beginning, God wouldn't allow this to happen to me if He did not have, I could handle it. If He didn't know I could, handle it, and if He didn't have a better plan for me.
Amen to that.
Just been leaving it in His hands. He has full control over this. So whatever happens from here on out, it's Him. Well, how did he cope? Well, he was out on the boat every weekend. That was his oasis. That was his way of escaping life and his kids. He would play with them, or he had a normal life. You couldn't tell the difference for a while, like until that weekend.
Right.
Because he was so strong. So he just lived a normal life. That's how he coped with it. He put a face on.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's why I was just so, every PTSD, case are so different. You've got your mild, your moderate, your severe.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he was secretly inside. I couldn't tell you what level he was on, but you could not tell until the sleep deprivation triggered it.
Right.
And that's what. So you asked me how he coped. I couldn't tell you exactly, but I would just say that he found his oasis on the water.
Do you ever recall him exploding in anger at you, at work, at anyone?
Should I answer that? He did. When I miscarried in 2009, he came back. I was a different person. He was a different person. Since he was gone for so long, and I've been mom and dad, and taking care of, I was the home front. And when he came home, it was hard for us to communicate. There was something different about him when he came back the second time. I don't know what happened over there, but he came back and he would explode. If we argue, and my thing is I would just walk away. I just had to walk away. But he exploded a lot. But I was his yin to his yang, so I was able to calm him down most of the part. And I knew that going into a military lifestyle and being a military wife, that I would have to deal with that.
Right.
But not this.
The rough life, and God bless you for hanging in there. That, I try to explain it to my wife, and she just looks at me with the same look you're giving me now, like, I don't know what you're going through. You've lost your mind, and I'm going to go that way. Do you recall him exploding at anyone else? I mean, was it just you, or would he have to control himself?
For the most part, he would have. I mean, he was a strong-headed person anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he would. His dad helped us with a lot of stuff, and he would take his anger out on him. Not in a bad, like a bad way, but he would, you know, Dad, I should do this. Like, this is the way you're supposed to do it. You know, like the military. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
um, but for the most part, he was okay. Because he was so strong.
Do you believe that because he was so strong, he felt he could handle it on his own?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's a very common trait in every interview I make. And I only do 1 or 2 interviews a week because it gets to me. And I have to sit back and go, it's all right, you know, these people are going through what they're going through. I'm doing the same. And the whole movie, that's the reason for the movie, because I started discovering these symptoms a year ago, and I'm like, this isn't right, you know, I have to change. And then I wanted to help other folks change. So just like you, I think this is exceptionally important, and we need to help other people not suffer in silence. Did he have any insomnia or sleep issues? And do you know if it was always the same or what have you?
Well, I mean, he slept. You know, on a normal basis, he slept. There was some nights or some things that he would notice that I would see in him that it was hard for him to fall asleep. But he had a comfort with him. I should put this out there. He had a blankie. But that was his way of, you know, he would rub it at night.
Right.
And he, like when he would come back, I could see he would rub it more. But everybody had that breast thing, I understand, and I accepted it and loved it. But when he triggered, when he had sleep deprivation, he wouldn't sleep. And if he was sleeping, it was like it wasn't a full sleep. It was just like you could tell he was moving around and getting up and getting down and going outside and smoking a cigarette or something. Like he wasn't fully sleeping.
Wow.
And I just wish he would have.
That's a big deal for the PTSD community. Many people don't get the sleep they need, which exacerbates everything, as you know. Do you recall him having any flashbacks? Do you have any examples of what he might have gone through?
If he did, he never told me.
Wow.
And that's his thing. He didn't want to feel weak. But that weekend, the one thing that he did say is he said, you know, samurais commit suicide so they don't dishonor their family.
Wow.
So imagine for him to say that, what was going through his head.
Yeah. He didn't. I can't even begin to imagine. Many people that I've spoken to, you're my 8th interview. I have another one tomorrow. Unusual, but true. Many people echo that same sentiment. I would rather be out of here than deal with this, strong or not.
And the samurais, they would only commit suicide if they were getting attacked.
Right.
And so in his brain, you know, in his mind at that point, he was feeling attacked. Why? You know, like that. My thing is, why couldn't you have come to me and told me?
Right.
You know.
Do you know if he ever got emotionally numb? Not that you stop feeling things, but that you would just stop feeling, period.
Yeah. I mean, that was obvious, you know, that weekend for sure. It was something that was down. And then you could see him sitting there, and then he would snap out of it. He was emotionally numb, but you couldn't tell. It was like he kept going, like trying to put a front on. Which, for me, somebody who I've connected to him, like you could tell the difference. Talking to him on the phone, like it was like a monotone. Just kind of, he started getting into this weird state. Go with emotions.
Right.
That's what he's doing, going with emotions.
Did he ever exhibit any signs of hypervigilance?
He's always been like that. we, you know, we had guns, and we would actually do drills where he would come in and pretend like he's breaking in. I would go to the drill, grabbing the kids and getting the gun and doing what I needed to do. But we always locked the door. And, but I mean, but that's just part of being in the military. You are constantly worried.
Yeah.
But as a mom, I'm constantly worried too. But it's hard to tell the difference, from that to that, because I live with him. It'd be different if somebody's like, oh wow, you're way overprotected, but to me that was just him, and I couldn't tell you if it was because of this or if it was just because that's what we did.
Was he ever easily startled? Loud noises, somebody tapping him on his shoulder unexpectedly?
He was, he was, if the boys would drop their toys or something, he would look. That kind of thing, like, you just look and like, and so, but I honestly think that his symptoms were so suppressed that he, like I said, he was strong. But I think he suffered it really, really silently.
Wow.
So I cannot tell you exactly if he started, just like if he was just human, but I could tell it. Definitely that weekend when it all came out.
No.
When you couldn't suppress it anymore.
Right.
Everything that you have asked me today, it all came out. That in 3 days. And the suppressed feeling, and then all of a sudden, here you go. What do you do?
In 3 days, that's incredible. Do you know if he had any negative thoughts at any point?
Well, yeah. That week that he was getting no sleep, he had talked to his mom on the phone, and I didn't know about this until after the fact. But he asked her, he said, Mom, what's the best way to die?
Wow.
She had no answer. She said, there is no best way to die. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And this is when he was starting to get no sleep. And then, repeating the samurai thing again, or what do you want me to do? You just want me to die? Like, he would say stuff like that. I'm like, no, what are you talking about? No.
Wow.
Like, he was fighting all these battles in his mind, and he wasn't winning.
Yeah. That's the point in time where we have to swallow that male ego and go and get help. And we have never, as men, been taught how to do that. This society is so bent on the stereotype, if you will. Do you know if he ever felt hopeless or guilty, and did it affect his daily life?
Like I said, he was strong when he hit it.
Right.
He probably felt hopeless unless our arguments, because I'm strong-willed.
Yeah.
But I'm a mom bear, so I have to be that way. I mean, he was overwhelmed.
Yeah. Do you know if he engaged in any self-destructive behavior before that weekend? Or even during, but...
He liked to drink.
Right.
He drank. He drank a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a sailor, so... But he never did drugs because he didn't want to lose his job. That weekend, that Friday night that we went out, we went out together. And he only drank a little bit, but he acted drunk. To me, that was weird because he had a high tolerance.
Right.
He only had a few beers, so I don't know.
Do you believe he ever gambled on the future?
Oh yeah. we had 7 houses we owned in Virginia Beach. He
Wow.
built a real estate empire for himself, so
Wow.
that was the risk right there. He jumped out of airplanes
Right.
for a living. He would spearfish, not just fish, but he would spearfish.
Did his symptoms affect the people around him, family, co-workers? Did it get out into public?
The most people that it affected were his parents and his close friends. That weekend, reaching out for help. He talked to a lot of his close friends, his cousin, and but it's nobody's fault.
Right.
Nobody could truly understand. He was reaching out, but they really didn't understand. However, he really that weekend, it was hell. You know, for people that are close to him, it was hell.
People reach out in different ways. Unfortunately, the rest of us don't always recognize it. So that's how we get hypersensitive. In my time, my father gave me PTSD to begin with. I didn't know any different. So I became hypersensitive at a young age. And then my father started saying, well, you're so sensitive, you know, you got to be a man's man. He was a sailor too. So I said, oh, you want a man's man? So I joined the Marine Corps and I went, there you go, Pop. You know, I kind of showed him. What do you personally think will help solve most of the issues around PTSD?
Awareness.
Hmm?
Awareness.
Awareness. Oh,
Awareness.
absolutely.
That is the only thing, and to talk about it. Because what I've learned within just me in 5 years is that I could have kept it in. I could have let it dwell, so where I would have resort to drugs or alcohol or Lord knows what.
Right.
But what I did is I talked about it with my family. I talked about it with my friends. I talked about it with strangers. But all I got from it was strength.
Right.
And I feel like if definitely now, since the awareness is out there, and if our soldiers can see that just not our nation, but our world has got their back.
Right.
We can't physically hold their hand, but we emotionally can hold their heart. And if they know that they have the support and that we love them, and they just see it, if they just see it not by money, not by whatever, just that they know that we're there.
Right.
When they're at that last split-second decision to take their life, and if they've seen my story, and they've read the stories of people that have been through the same exact thing that I have, but different, but they see it, and they see the pain, when they're at that last split-second decision, hopefully the awareness will be their safety catch to stop it. And then that's one life saved. And imagine with that one life, what can contribute to our world. Their kid may be the next president,
Right.
you know, or whatever, the next Nobel Prize winner, you know, who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But our job as civilian right now is to make people aware of what PTSD is.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I would have been aware, if I would have had some kind of training, just as a military wife, I mean, we need training.
Right.
If I would have done that, maybe I would have approached it a different way. We would have found different help.
Right.
Instead of saying, let's go get help, you know, because help to them is, oh, gotta go to the VA, let's fill out this report, and then, oh my God, they're gonna lose my job, they're gonna take all my guns away, you know, that's what he's thinking.
Right.
You know, the ripple effect. Not just, I need to just talk to somebody today.
Yeah.
And it leave right there, it be left right there. It's not. That is a big issue.
Yeah.
So we can be aware of that. If the VA can say that then maybe there needs to be some kind of reform, then that needs to happen, because I lost my husband, you know, because of a security clearance thing. My kids lost their dad. That is an issue. And I'm not the only one.
Right.
I wish more people would speak out, and I hope they do. Because this has got to stop.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
I had to tell them on Saturday what happened to Daddy. Not just Daddy was sick anymore. I had to tell them on Saturday because I didn't want anybody else but me to tell them what happened. And you know, but that's been my fear. That's why I didn't want to tell them, because I don't want them to think because Daddy did it that it's okay.
Right.
That to do this, and I was trying to explain to them that Daddy was in the right mind. That Daddy still is a hero, period, no matter what.
Yeah.
He's still going to be a hero. And before I asked that, before you watch this video, I just want you to know Daddy loves you. Daddy loved you, and whatever happened, it wasn't because he did not love you.
Right.
You have to understand that. And we watched the video, and we were in the bed, I was just hugging on him, and when that part came up, we all just cried. And my son, afterwards, I talked to them, and I explained to them, and they said, well, how did it happen? And I said, with the gun, that's why Mommy won't have guns in the house. That's why I'm scared of guns. Like, I can't have it.
Yeah.
And then my son, he's funny. He said, Mommy, you can do it with the knife. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like this? Do I have to go take all the knives out now and go get plastic knives? And Tony's like, Mommy, honestly, you do it with anything. And I was like, oh God, you know, this is why I didn't tell you. And like, we were laughing. And then I just told them, I said, this will never be an option for you. You have to understand, this is not even an option. I said, I'm going to let you know this now. Life's going to get tough. You're going to go through breakups. You're going to have financial problems. This is what's going to happen. But don't you ever think that this is an option. I said, for one thing, you need to prove people wrong. 20 years from now, when they look at to see where my kids are doing, I want them to see that you guys are making a difference, because you guys truly are amazing kids. For what you guys have already been through, you guys, you're survivors just like me. And I just want you to know this. And the conversation that I'm having with you right now is that you see what I have to deal with on a daily basis?
Yeah.
Because of what? Because he was scared to lose his job? I deal with this every single day now, so thank you.
Yeah.
The past couple of days, I literally have been living his death over. But I still have to be functioning. I can't just be like, I'm just feeling sad today. Can't change back, babe. You know? But I was in class on Tuesday, and I just wanted to cry. I wanted to break down and cry, because everything was just like peeling the wound, or the Band-Aid off the wound. And I was walking around campus, and I just went to the student services. I said, I need to talk to somebody right now. I need to cry. I don't want to go home and cry alone. I just can't do it alone anymore, because I've been doing it alone for 5 years. I cannot do it alone anymore. And when I went in there, she just took control. First she said, why are you so overwhelmed? And I was like, I'm not overwhelmed, but I am. I said, because after all this, he's still not here. He's still not, this didn't bring him back. I mean, it finished his name, but it didn't bring him back. And that's the pain that will constantly live on and on and on. So she took control. And that's what I needed. I needed somebody just to take control, because I had control over everything else.
Right.
She took control. She said, she locked me in a room, and she said, paint. It was like a canvas. And I was like, okay. You know, like, and she said, here's, and she put light on. And she said, listen to this. This is your pain. Cry. Cry, cry, cry. Let it out. And then I fell asleep. After I cried and did that, like I laid there, like I'm on campus in a room somewhere, and I'm sleeping. But that's the help. Like that's what people need to do.
Yes.
Don't be scared, because if I would have went home, I would have been alone. Who was to say that I could have, you know? Who knows?
Who knows?
So if you're ever at that point, go talk to somebody. Doesn't mean you're going to be put on medicine.
Right.
But I'm so against that. I don't want it. If you need it, if you have a chemical imbalance, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I don't think numbing your pain ever solves anything.
Agreed.
You have to face it. You have to, or it's never going to go away, or you to the point where you can cope with it.
Yeah.
So you need to talk to somebody. And talking to somebody that went to school for it and who's certified, that's what they do that for, so they can lead you in the right direction. Like, I didn't know she was going to take control of me, but she did.
Right.
And I needed that. I felt better.
Right.
And I've been able to finish this week. And, you know, I've had exams, and how can I get this done? But you just do it. And the same with being in the military. You have this and this and this to do, you know. but you can take an hour to go get help. If
Yeah.
you're feeling like that, you can take an hour, because talking to somebody and taking that suppressed feeling and getting it off of you and letting somebody else hold it, it helps. That's why I chose and carry the following with Active Heroes, is because what they do is they rock. And I'll tell you the reason why I chose them, if you don't mind.
Please.
This girl, Heather, she's from Boston. About 2 years ago, somebody said, go look at her page. And I was like, who's Heather? Okay. I don't know who this girl is, but I looked at her, and what she did, she didn't know me. She didn't know my husband. She's not even in the military. She has a family. But what she does is that she rucks for soldiers, either killed in action or committed suicide.
Wow.
And on her backpack, she carries a backpack with rocks. And she has this ribbon, and it had my husband's name on it. And she had a button with his face. And she has these boots with his name on it. And so I've been watching her for 2 years. Like, all I can say is thank you, thank you, thank you. Like, but she's done something for me. She's carried this pain that I couldn't carry, visibly. She did it visibly, and when I physically saw it, I just was like, like somebody understands.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm with Active Heroes, is because that's what we do. We carry the pain, or we carry the load that our soldiers cannot.
Right.
And if they can just physically see it, then everything is worthwhile.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would help you carry that pain. I've carried plenty in my life. I'd be more than happy to shoulder whatever I can for you.
Well, go sign up with your local 5 Active Heroes. See what team you have around you.
I absolutely will.
Just go ruck.
Yeah.
I mean, mine is November 7th. That's my first one that I'm putting together.
Oh, wow.
Hopefully we'll have a good attendance. And I only want that is because I want our community to know that we support our veterans and we support our active duty. And that's what I want. The thing is with that is the opportunity of, training our PTSD dogs, getting our local veterans to the Louisville retreat. And the thing is that it's still getting built. Like, this happened 2 years ago, very recent. And we've grown so much since then.
Wow.
And whatever any money can go towards, I mean, that's what we do, because that's what people need. They need to be able to say, if they know something, they could contact us up and say, hey, can we go? Like, is this okay?
Yeah.
And it's free for them.
Wow.
I mean, and that's the amazing part. Don't send your active duties to Disney World. Send them somewhere where they can, like, go canoeing, or go get, have these yoga classes, or just the peace and calm and serenity. That's what they need. They don't need the hustle and bustle. They need a place to go. Look in the United States. We have such land. We are one of the biggest countries in this world, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We can take one spot and send our military, because they fight for us and they defend their life for us every single day, emotionally sacrifice their families to spend time. We can take a place where they can go to, and it would be just an oasis.
For me, my research in the last couple of years has been all about getting outside, getting physical, getting your mind in a different place, and then you come back and address whatever it is you have to address, and it can help, and it does help.
He couldn't control anything. That's what his thing was. He needed control, and he couldn't get it.
Yeah, that's usually the most difficult thing, especially for males, or anyone in the military, but especially for males. I speak for them only because I know what I've gone through. What was his experience with the VA?
Well, the VA is why my husband is dead. Okay. I'm not going to put sugarcoat on it.
Good.
Yes, taking care of me now. Why not him?
Yeah.
He didn't go to the VA.
Right.
There was not even an option in his mind that he could go.
Wow.
The only thing is I don't want another wife to feel what I feel like. So if we can just get the awareness out there, share the video, or talking to people, that's all I want. What people don't understand is that even like from 9/11, okay, all the people in New York that have seen something tragic, and that's everybody, you know, with Anthony, with me, you know, that weekend, I relive it every year, but what people don't understand is that it could happen, but 10 years later, you may not show the signs, but you have suppressed it so much 10 years later. And that's why these, like, well, you know, Vietnam vets, why they're committing suicide. It's because their mind is not strong enough because they're getting older. They cannot handle it anymore. And it's coming out. The suppressed feelings, the suppressed emotions, the suppressed visual effects of what they've seen, it's all coming out. And that's why the suicide rate is at 22 veterans a day. You know? Back in the past generations, they didn't talk about it. It was a hush-hush. It was a no-no. Well, that needs to change. We are in a different world, different age, and you need to talk about it. You have to, because look at the effects that it's doing. 22 veterans a day, one active duty, which is just a statistic, which probably more, way more, a day. That has got to stop. We have got to, for our next generations, where our kids aren't looking at us as veterans and we're committing suicide. That we need to stop this. We need to get the help that they need now, so when they get to that point in the future, they can handle it. They got it out. They got that suppressed feeling out. It's not there no more. And all they need to do is just talk to one person. Go get the help.